In this session, you will learn how to choose the right Amazon advertising bidding strategy to save your advertising cost. And our guest today will be Florian from Adference. And this session is part of SellerFest online virtual event, which is sponsored by two great companies. The first one is Getida, which is a FBA auditing company, and they help you to maximize FBA reimbursements for Amazon sellers of any size, small or big. So check them out. Find the link below in the description and also their offer and get your reimbursements scraped from Amazon by Getida. And another company is VA Academy. They specialize in virtual assistants in a lot of fields of your Amazon business, and they train especially the VAs, especially for Amazon businesses, for Amazon sellers, to help them for a very affordable cost. So check the link below or book a call with them and talk to them if you need some help and want to scale your Amazon business. And this session I'm hosting together with Lisette. She works with different Amazon brands, and with Orange Click. Hi, Lisette.
Hi, Augustus. Happy to be here as always. I'm very excited to invite our next guest here, who is Florian, and Florian will teach you how you can choose the good and perfect Amazon PPC bidding strategy just for your business. So, hi, and before we go to your today's presentation and dive into the topic, could you first introduce yourself and let us know what you do in the Amazon space?
Yeah, nice to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation. My name is Florian. I'm co-founder and co-CEO of Adference. Adference is a company that develops software for Amazon sellers and vendors, and we specialized on Amazon ads, Amazon PPC, campaign creation, keyword automation, and our main focus and our background is statistic and algorithms that calculate the right bids for your Amazon ads. And this is what I will be talking about later this session. Yeah, let's start. So today, this session, the next 30 minutes is about understanding the pros and cons about rule-based bid optimization. So you look at your bids and adjust them by rules. You do this manually, or you have a system behind this. And the pros and cons about doing or calculating your bids, whether it is your machine learning algorithm or something you calculate with a, you just calculate them. So, and I want to explain the pros and cons of this and what you should look out for when you do so. But first, let's understand why this is important. Why do we need to talk about Amazon ads, and why do we need to talk about that so specifically about the right bids, about the right setup? If you look at the past years on how Amazon ads are accelerating and gaining more and more market share, it's just incredible how much they win market share, and they gain more and more, and Google and Facebook are declining in growth and market share. And now we can ask ourselves, okay, how is Amazon doing this? How are they generating more and more market share? They do this. There are multiple dimensions that contribute to this growing market share. The first thing is, if you look at the Amazon search results page or product detail page, you see ads all over the place. Amazon increased the ad slots in the past years dramatically, and this is what they like because it's very profitable for them, good ads, a lot of placements, and it's just more money for them. So you see nearly no organic listing above the fold, and that's bad for us if we don't want to work with ads, right? So we get less visibility, less clicks, and less revenue. And it gets even worse if we look at the mobile placements, and it's difficult. But it can work without ads. But you must understand, if you don't use Amazon ads, you just get less of the cake. And this is something that you must understand. Another thing is, Amazon not only pushed more placements, they also gave us more tools, more campaign types. In the past days, it was very simple. We had just these 3 campaign types: sponsored products, headline search ads, which is now sponsored brands, product display ads, which is now sponsored display. And we just had keywords for sponsored products. We just had keywords and only one headline for headline search ads, and product display ads were only available for vendors and not for sellers. And now we switched, and well, we've got more campaign types, more formats, more targeting options. At first glance, well, it's still like 3 campaign types, right? But if you dive a little bit into the campaign types, you understand and you will admit it's far more complicated than before. We have auto campaigns with 4 auto targets. We can use negative keywords, negative product targets. We have manual campaigns, auto campaigns, match types, categories, adjustments by placement, and so on and so on. So a lot of complexity and a lot of dynamics that is Amazon adding here in this game. At the same time, Amazon is growing. We get more sellers, we get more products on the platform, and we get more competition. So we see a rising CPCs. So it gets more and more expensive to actually win a click on this platform. And we must say, okay, what are we doing with all this information, and how can we deal with this? Should I bury my head in the sand, or what can it make out of this? Or can maybe this dynamics and the complexity become maybe an opportunity for brands? And I say, of course, it is a major opportunity, because you must understand that Amazon will always put ads on their listings. They will always put ads in their search results, good ads. And you need to play this game and need to understand that this is a strategic opportunity and a strategic a challenge for you as a seller. And I am so confident that these sellers who master all campaign times and make optimal use of all ad types, make ideal use of all targeting options, they have a strategic advantage over their competitors. Like if you have just an awesome product, you have a good margin. This is just one awesome important part, but you also need an optimal setup for Amazon ads. And if you have this, you have a strategic advantage. So I hope you understand this. And now we must say, okay, what does this mean? Optimal steering of advertising. Okay, now I understand. Okay, well, you got me there. Okay, there are different strategies, we must admit. So, but before you start with the setup and optimization, you just pick the right strategy that you want to follow. There are different strategies. I have prepared 3 of them. The first thing is you have a product launch and you say, okay, I got a new product and I push its listing with ads. It's for new products. You want to maximize the orders. You do this for 2, 4, 8 weeks, and you have a strict limited budget, and you don't care about the ACoS or the return on ad spend, the ROAS. So this is a strategy, right? Okay, check. Or you have a strategy that goes on visibility or share of voice or whatsoever. And this is for your top sellers. You want a maximum visibility or clicks or whatever. Maybe you do this in midterm. And here as well, you have a limited budget and you don't care about the ACoS or the profitability. You have just a strict budget for this. And there's the last strategy. I call it the performance strategy. And this is actually the most relevant one, because you should apply this on all your products. The target is to maximize the sales and the profit. You should do this continuously, not only 1 month. You should do, as long as the product is online, you should advertise it and maximize your profit. You should have no budget restrictions here, but you have a strict ACoS or ROAS limit. And this is about this last strategy, the performance strategy, I want to talk about with you in the next 20 minutes. because I want you to understand how we can achieve with the right bits the perfect performance. And there are different strategies, 2 of them, and I want to explain how they work and what are the pros and cons of them. So let's start. Let's start with a simple example, and let's assume that you say, okay, I have a calculation, I have a break-even ACoS, and I say, okay, I want to make as many sales as possible at an ACoS of 10%. Right? It's a common example. People come to us and say, okay, I want to hit this ACoS no matter what. Okay, what would you do if you look at the keywords here, at the table of the keywords, and look at your target and of 10%? You would say, okay, all these keywords that are below 10%, I should increase them, right? I should increase the bids. Or I understand that, okay, if I run below 10%, I give away sales. I should increase the bids or the traffic to maximize my sales and my profit, because if I'm below 10%, I'm not hitting my ACoS target, right? On the other hand, if I'm above 10%, well, this is also bad, because I should decrease my bids or I'm too expensive, right? It's not good as well. So this is important to understand. The first thing is, if I'm below 10%, I'm not fine, because I'm giving away sales and I probably give away profit. And if I'm above 10%, well, I'm just too expensive, right? So this is the optimum here is 10% ACoS, and we want to hit this no matter what. Okay, but how do I achieve this ideal bid now? And I would say the most common thing is you do this by rules. You do the bid adjustments by rules, and you have your target ACoS, you look at the performance, and then you take an action. So in our example, you have a 10% target ACoS. You look at the performance, you see it's below 10% ACoS, in this example 5%, and then you increase the bids. If you're above 10%, in this case 15, you would lower the bids, right? It's so simple as that, right? And I will, and that's it. That's the bid adjustments by rules. But now I want to explain why this is not working well, and there are some difficulties that I want to explain you. So let's, for this example here, again, the table, well, we would increase here the bits here, and we would lower them here, and that's it. What would we do with this guy here? Well, I don't know. No ACoS. I don't know what I'm doing. But this is another problem that I will show you in the next minutes. So problem number 1. I have 4 with this rule-based bidding. What time period are we considering? Let's assume these are some weeks. And in this weeks, with a keyword, we generate some sales and we generate some costs, like in the example before. Every week we have 10 euros of cost. And then there was a week with 50 euros of sales. Well, okay, common example. And what are we doing now? Well, I look at the past 2 weeks and I would say, well, I have an ACoS of 40%. And for example, if my ACoS would be 50, I would, of course, increase the bids, right? Because this is just what we said. But if I'm looking at the past 4 weeks, for example, well, okay, I'm including 20 euros again in costs, but no sales. Well, okay, the ACoS is 80%, so I would lower the bids, right? Or no, I always analyze the last 6 weeks, so the ACoS increases to 120. Wow, that's a very bad keyword. What am I doing here? You see, depending on when and how you look at the data, the performance completely differs, right? This is a very huge problem for rule-based bidding. But I got more. The second thing is, what happens if you have no data at all? How are your rules actually changing something? They should change something, because maybe you're below or you could increase the bids. You don't know, because without an ACoS or cost or sales, well, you don't do anything, right? That can't be the optimal setting for your bids. doing nothing, right? Okay. Problem number 3, and this is the biggest problem that we have with rule-based bidding. Again, we have our weeks here, and we have a bid on a keyword. And this bid is €1. And it doesn't generate any costs because we don't generate any click. What are we doing? Damn, fuck. And now, whoa, well, some costs, some sales. Awesome. Well, we generated €100 of sales and with €40 of cost, ACoS of 40, and our ACoS target is 50. What are we doing? We are increasing, of course, the bids from €1 to €1.20 because we analyzed the last 4 weeks, for example, and we would increase our bids by 20% because we are below our target of 50 and we would increase the bids. Wow, okay, awesome. Next week, what is happening? Well, no cost at all, but we are looking at the performance again and it looks awesome, 40%. Okay, 40% is below 50%, so what are we doing? We are increasing the bids. Awesome. Well, now we adjusted our €1 bid to €1.44. Okay, next week, I look at the performance and I see, wow, 40% ACoS without any new sales, without any new costs that have been generated. I increase the bids again by 20%. And I do this again and again. I hope you understand that this is far from good. This is bad because in 1 week or in 1 day, doesn't matter, there was one event that pushed my performance, and I always look at the same performance every week. But here I would push the bids 4 times by only one event in 1 week. And this is not good, right? It doesn't feel right to more than double the bids because we have been in our target, below our target in this 1 week. So that's poor, all right? I hope you understand that this is not good. And the last problem that I would like to show you is how can we actually react to trends? You know, if you change your product detail page, you get better pictures or images, you updated your detail page, you lowered your price, whatever, something that influences your conversion rate, that boosts your conversion rate, that lowers your conversion rate, you want to react to this with your bids, all right? Because we got better performance in the past days, and then we want to react to this. We have a better conversion rate, we can invest more in our Amazon PPC, or we have a poorer performance, so we want to take it slow. And you want to react to this, right? So in this example, we have weeks with a declining ad spend, here 50 to 10 euros, with a bad, I would say bad old performance. On the other hand, we have a recent performance that looks awesome because maybe we updated our detail page or whatsoever. We just invested 10 euros a week and generated 50 or even 100 euros in sales. And what is the rule-based bidding doing? Maybe it just takes into account the average of the past 8 weeks or whatsoever. You don't have any dynamics here in a rule-based system. If you just say, okay, I always look at the past 4 weeks and this is the performance, and if it's good, we increase the bids. If it's bad, we lower the bids. What you want to do here in this case, well, you want to react to this awesome trend and give your ads some pushes, right? And increase the bids, right? So, okay, do I understand? So, and this rule-based bidding is especially not optimal in a mid and long tail keywords. So if we don't have any or less data, we don't know what to do. No sales, only cost. What are we doing here? Well, it's difficult. So, and now I want to show you an approach that you can easily apply to your PPC bids and all your targets, all your keywords, PPC, ASIN targets or whatsoever, or auto campaigns. I present an approach that works with little and with much data, that can react to trends, correctly updates all bids every day without any problems, can perfectly implement even drastic changes, target changes immediately. So if you say, okay, I need to decrease my target from ACoS 20 to 5%, you just snip and that's it. And works for strong and weak keywords. And I will explain and show you this approach. And what we do is we calculate our bids. So focus now, because I got some formulas here. The first thing is that we need to answer, or that we need to ask ourselves, how likely is it that someone will click on my ad and then make a purchase? Well, I look at my data and I see, well, 1 in 20 clicks and buys. So that means I have a conversion rate of 5% on my keyword on my product. Well, okay, got it. First thing that we need. Second thing that we need, what am I willing to pay for a conversion or an order? Well, so I would say I can invest like 20 euros in an order or in a conversion. So my cost per order target is 20 euros. And now, this is just an example, right? So if we now combine this, okay, I need 20 clicks that and then the people are buying and every 20 clicks, and I got a 20 euro CPO target. This means that on average a click can cost like 1 euro, right? So what am I willing to pay for a click on my ad? 20 clicks for 20 euros means 1 euro on average for a click, right? I hope you understand this. I need 20 clicks that cost on average 1 euro. So I spend 20 euro for one order. And this is just a formula. I can just say, okay, take my conversion rate, multiply it by 20, my CPO target, and then I got my desired CPC, the cost per click that I should accomplish and achieve on average. That's it. Done. Okay, I could leave now, but I know that we have ACoS targets, so it gets a little bit more complicated, and I will explain this. So the basic of bid calculation just takes into account your conversion rate and your CPO target, if you have a CPO target, right? So if you have an ACoS target, we need more. We need to add our shopping cart value here, or basket value, the average order size that we see. And then we can easily just take the conversion rate, shopping cart value, multiply this with the ACoS target, and then we are done. I have an example. So probably of a click leading to a purchase, expected amount of sales from a purchase through the keyword, and conversion or sales target. So, and now I have an example. In this example, I got a conversion rate of 5% on average. An order value is like 50 euro on average, and I get an ACoS target of 10%. And I just multiply this, and I have a target CPC of 25 cents. That's it. We're done. That's what you should aim for, 25 cents in this case. Just put your numbers in, and you're good to go. You don't need any rule-based stuff, right? There's one problem, and the problem is that on Amazon, because we don't have the possibility to add our desired CPC, our final CPC, it's a second priced auction. So we always bid more than we actually pay. So if you bid like 1 euro on average, maybe you pay 90 cents or 80 cents, and always lower, right? So if we would enter 25 cents in our keywords as our keyword bid, we would always pay too little and too few. And we need to increase our bids a little so that we, in the end, we pay 25 cents in this example, right? So you need a factor that multiplies this and leverage this a little. We call this uplift. So in the end, you have your target CPC, multiply this with an uplift. It's an example of 1.2, and that's a factor that takes care of the difference between the bid on your keyword level and the actual CPC. And I say in this example, okay, we need to bid 30 cents to actually pay 25 cents. It's totally different in your example. Yeah, and you need to check this out in your example, but you could start with this factor of 1.2. Okay, hope you understand this. And then you're good to go. But why does it need like tools like ours? And why does it need like machine learning? Why is everybody talking about AI and all this stuff? And actually, there's no AI. It's machine learning, what some tools do, and we do machine learning. And what we are trying to do is, well, it's actually not as that simple to calculate this freaking conversion rate and shopping cart. These are key values of your final bid. And you would say, okay, maybe it's 2% or 5%. Does it matter? Yes, it matters a lot, because if the conversion rate doubles to 10%, well, you could invest twice as much here as in your bids, right? So I hope you understand how this connects with each other. But the difference or the challenging thing for tools or for you is to actually predict the conversion rate and predict the shopping cart value that you have. And normally we don't have so much data in your account. Look at your keyword data. Probably there are so many keywords with little data, and it's so difficult to predict this on a keyword level. You have thousands of keywords, and is it 5%, 4%, 10%? You need some machine learning to predict this, and this is what we do. And I will want to explain you why it is so difficult. This is a very old chart, but I like it very much because it shows the actual conversion rate of a keyword given the number of clicks that we have seen. And in the beginning, we have no clicks here. And in the end, we have seen on this keyword 1,000 clicks or 1,500 clicks. And the less clicks I see and the more conversion or orders or conversions I add to this little basis, the more the seen conversion rate is fluctuating. So you got 4 clicks and 1 conversion, you get a conversion rate of 25%. Awesome. But then you get next 5 clicks, no conversion, your conversion rate will decrease drastically. And even if you look at the graph again, you will see, okay, it takes like 200, 400 clicks so that we have a basis here or can adjust or predict, okay, maybe the final long-term conversion rate of this keyword will be 5%. Well, but let's be honest, how many keywords do you have that generated in the past 2 weeks more than 400 clicks? So it's crucial that you do a good job in predicting your conversion rates early so you don't waste a lot of money. And this is what we do. We take all the signals into account that there are, your product signals, budget signals. We look at the competition, we analyze for trends, match types, ad groups, all the signals to say, okay, the expected conversion rate for today is that, your given target is this, and in the end, for this day, your ideal bid is 33 cents, for example. And this is what we're doing basically every day. So the key takeaways of this session is you hopefully understand the strategic meaning of Amazon ads. It's so important that you say, okay, I challenge this. I focus on this. You understand that there are different PPC strategies. We got a launch phase, for example, or we have the long-term profitability strategy. Rule-based automation has its limits, and it's important for me that you understand these limits, right? These 4 problems that I presented. The ideal bids can be calculated, but it's difficult to do so, right? You need a lot of data or good predictions or good algorithms, but maybe you just take the data that you have and calculate this on your own and try and check how your actual bids differ from the ones that you calculated. And I'm smarting myself and my team up. So this is why you listen to the Seller Fest that you joined. and try to be better. So that's the first step. That's awesome that you're here today and listen to this and all the other awesome people. Yeah, and if you want to get in touch with us or me, feel free to check out our website, adference.com. Here you find a code or QR code to directly get in touch with us. Thank you very much for your that you're being
Thank
here.
you. Thank you, Florian. And I wanted to remind everyone, if you enjoyed this session, or you found the value in what Florian shared, don't forget to hit like. We still need a few more likes before we move on to the Q&A session. And also, before we do Q&A, I wanted to mention that Seller Fest Online brought almost 30 Amazon experts, and we do have additional VIP package where most of these experts which are participating, especially which are presenting, not in the panels, they delivered for us additional videos with actionable information, actionable tips, quite a few videos related to Amazon advertising like this session, but we also have a few other sessions where, for example, you can learn about storefronts, how to implement 2 easy strategies to make more hoping to convert more viewers to buyers by changing something on your Amazon product listing. Also, you will get actionable information on what kind of Amazon videos exist on the product listing and what type of video performs the best, and so on and so on. And also Florian presented us with a presentation. I'm looking for him. And Florian, what did you share in the presentation?
In the presentation, I share 5 actionable insights for better Amazon ads. So quick tips that you could easily implement in seconds or minutes, and that everybody should know about.
Yes, so it's additional 20-minute session, and if you click the link and want to invest a little bit to this VIP package, you'll find the link below in the description, and once you are on the membership area, you will get access to all the videos. And now I think we're ready for the questions and answers. Hi, Lisette.
Hey, yeah, let's take the first question for you. So it will be about default beats. So how to manage default beats and what should be the default beats?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So the default bid actually depends on the formula as well as that I presented. So you need to predict or guess your basis your conversion rate. Maybe you take into account your organic conversion rate and say, okay, this is the proxy, right, for the given conversion rate, and you multiply this given your expected value, order value on average that you expect. That it could be your price that you have, and of course you multiply this with your ACoS target, and then you're good to go. And this would be your starting bid.
Okay, thank you very much for the explanation. So another question for you. Let's say a keyword is getting good sales for us, but at the same time, it's costing us more than the sales it gets us. So how should we tackle this issue?
That sounds like, okay, it's way above your target, and that means that you actually need to reduce the bids. It's simple as that. Or and I can only reference to this formula again. There are different components. You could try to increase your conversion rate. So with a better listing, lower price, or whatsoever, that you are increasing your conversion rate, then you can invest the same or even more in your ads, right? So that you are profitable again. But take this formula that I presented and look where you can improve yourself. What's not, where you can, maybe you can increase the average order value by 20%. If you are able to do so, then you can invest more in your ads by 20%. That's simple as that.
Thank you. So another one. So if my top competitor bids $1 and I will bid $3, do I automatically win the first sponsored rank?
Good question. If everything else is the same, yes, but the rank is determined, or is, how you rank actually consists of two parts: the bid and the relevance of your ad to the search term, for example, or the keyword. So if you own a brand and you bid on your own brand, your own branded keyword, it's always cheaper for you to get the high rank than your competitor, because it's not relevant to the search term, or far less relevant than you are. So the relevance is another crucial factor for this, for the ad rank. And what could be the relevance in the end? It's the conversion rate, probably, we don't know, but probably it's the conversion rate after someone clicks. And the second thing, the click-through rate. So the better the relevance, the cheaper it is for you to actually to get the high rank.
All right, thank you. So based on what data Amazon displays the suggested bid range?
It changed and it changes. So we must say that they can help you to understand when you could win an auction. So this is maybe a little, you understand a little bit on what should be the minimum bid, so that I have a chance of winning some auction and get some impressions. But don't expect that these have anything to do with your data or your calculations as well. So you could look at them, but don't blindly take them for granted and use them, and don't challenge them at all, and don't challenge them anymore. That's very, you should never do this. So you could look at them, ask yourself, okay, am I higher or lower than that? And if you don't receive any clicks and you're lower than that, okay, maybe you increase your bids to the suggested bid by Amazon, and then probably you will start receiving some traffic. But it's just an indication. Never take them for granted and just rely on them.
All right, we have a few more. Let's take Angela's. How do we strategize in bidding in the upcoming Black Friday and Cyber Monday?
Awesome question. Depends. Depends
Awesome
on
answer.
depends on what you are doing, on what you are expecting. Take this formula again that I presented. If you expect a higher conversion rate on Black Friday and a higher order value on Black Friday, you can invest more. That's simple as that. If you reduce your price because you have deals, then you decrease your ACoS target probably, because you cannot invest the same as before. But at the same time, your conversion rate maybe doubles. And in the end, you can invest a little bit more. So I suggest that you look at the past events. Maybe, hopefully, you have data of the last Black Friday. Look at how your conversion rate, how your average order value on Black Friday and Cyber Monday behaved. And then, and then you adjust the bids accordingly. Another small note on that: Black Friday is very competitive, not only on Amazon, but also around the world. And every e-commercer wants your attention. The data that we have analyzed is that Prime Day is much better because the focus is only on Amazon, and the conversion rates are even better, dramatically better than in general. And Black Friday is good, but it's very expensive actually to be successful there or get a lot of attention on your listings. I suggest check the past Black Fridays or Cyber Mondays and then learn from that.
Great. One more question from the viewers. Dominic, I learned that you should always target your product margin as ACoS. That way you achieve the best ratio of visibility and profit. Is this true?
It can be. Yeah, it could make so much sense to invest more because it has dramatically impact on your organic rankings and your organic traffic. But at the same time, it can be very good to reduce the bids and have a lower ACoS target because you gain so much, or you save so much ad spend and ad cost, and you lose relatively so less sales. So in the end, you have to play around with these levels and find the right awesome sweet ACoS spot that generates the maximum overall profitability for you. So it could be a good starting point, but yeah, never challenge this, or never stop challenging this. So.
And a reminder to our viewers, if you really get value from Florian's answers, don't forget to like. And Florian, usually we ask speakers, did you like your own video already? Well, you...
Yes, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have more. So let me check if likes are increasing. If they're increasing, then the next questions are eligible for going live. So Dominic is quite active. Why should I work with budget limits at all in the launch phase? Isn't that always counterproductive?
Yeah, budget limits are poison for your performance. I would never work with budget limits, but in your calculation, so that you would say, okay, I got like 1,000 euro for this product launch, and I distribute this 1,000 euro over the last 4 weeks. And of course, your budgets in your campaigns should be open, but you just invest like this 1,000 euros in the next 4 weeks. So never work with budget limits, or because it's difficult. It's just poison for your performance. Yeah.
And people are really happy about the answers. Thank you so much for the great answer. Thanks again for... Oh, thank you. You're welcome. And thank you very much, Florian, by Dominic. I think that's it. Perfect. And one more time, Adference, what do you do? As far as I remember, it's a SaaS company, right?
Yes, we are a SaaS company. We are a PPC tool provider, and actually we can work with every marketplace or Amazon marketplace worldwide. Depending, it doesn't matter if you're a seller or vendor. You connect your account. We can use your existing campaigns, start optimizing them, and add automations to them, like keyword harvesting, all the stuff that you need. Or we can create a new setup for you, or you can do it with our software easily in seconds. And yeah, and we optimize this given your targets that you have and the phase that you are, depending on your launch phase, profitability phase, or you just want as much revenue as possible given an ACoS target of 10%, and we hit this, right?
Perfect. Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you, Lisette, for co-hosting this session. And yeah, if you still watching, John, Steven, and Dominic, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thank you, Florian. Thank you, Lisette.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And now I would like to invite you to watch other video where our other guest, Tarek, he will tell you how to fix your Amazon PPC product targeting and advertising bits to save some money and to have less costs.